The moment Charlie Kirk was murdered in front of a stunned crowd at a public speaking event, something shifted across America. It wasn't just the chaos in that room, it was the shockwave that followed. What came next didn't just make headlines. It changed conversations in churches, on campuses, in state offices, and across living rooms nationwide. Before we get into it, make sure to subscribe and like this video so you don't miss the aftermath stories others are too afraid to cover. And if you've seen shifts like these in your own community or know someone who has, drop a comment below. Your perspective matters. Now, let's count down the 7 biggest things that have unfolded since the assassination of Charlie Kirk. 7. A sudden national return to the Bible. In the days immediately following his death, bookstores and online shops reported a surge in Bible sales. Churches across multiple states saw people showing up for the first time in years. Youth groups that had been shrinking reported unexpected numbers. Pastors quoted Charlie's speeches, replaying his words about faith and culture in Sunday services. Even those who didn't agree with his politics admitted something about his death pushed people back towards Scripture, not out of fear but reflection. 6. Viral resurrection of his message about Jesus. Clips of Charlie speaking about Christ, purpose, and morality flooded TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. Sermons, compilations, and stitched reactions collected millions of views in hours. Teenagers began sharing his speeches with captions like, "He was trying to warn us," and "This message hits different now." Even critics noticed. The man who'd been labeled polarizing in life became a vessel for spiritual urgency in death. 5. A political earthquake no one was prepared for. What happened on that stage didn't end in that room, it detonated across political circles. Conservatives called it the moment the line was crossed. State officials began calling emergency security meetings. Commentators demanded accountability. Legislators floated new safety protocols for public figures. Meanwhile, political opponents warned that martyrdom could ignite a movement bigger than his message ever had in life. The tone of debates shifted overnight. Sharper, louder, and more defensive. 4. The ideological martyr narrative took hold. Supporters didn't just mourn, they mobilized. They labeled his death as proof that free speech is under attack. Campus organizers formed new groups in his name. Rallies invoked his image and words. Comment sections flooded with vows to finish what he started. At the same time, detractors scrambled to distance themselves from any rhetoric that could be linked to the violence, fearing public backlash. 3. The media firestorm and the blame wars. Cable news networks split instantly. Some framed the murder as a symptom of rising political hatred. Others pointed fingers at institutions, movements, and high-profile voices. Commentators battled over who holds responsibility, not just for the act, but the climate around it. Talk shows, podcasts, and political panels replayed the footage and dissected every second of the event. The story stopped being about one man's death and became about what America has become. 2. A security reckoning at public events. What happened in that auditorium forced law enforcement and event organizers into crisis mode. Security screenings, armed personnel, and attendance protocols changed overnight. Venues that once relied on minimal checks now require full sweeps. Some public speakers canceled tours entirely. Others only appear with tactical support teams. The murder exposed vulnerabilities no one wanted to admit existed in plain sight. 1. A cultural divide that only got louder. Charlie Kirk's death didn't quiet anything. It amplified everything. To some, his assassination became confirmation that convictions have consequences. To others, it marked the moment the country crossed into irreversible hostility. Debates over speech, Christianity, violence, and ideology surged in volume. Social media became a battleground. And somewhere between mourning and outrage, a new cultural line was drawn, one that may not be erasable. If this shook you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who needs to see it. And don't click away yet. If you enjoyed this video, here is another case even more shocking than this one.